I've been thinking about is that like for the past like four podcasts or however many we've been doing, we've been just talking about meats. I want to talk about something stupid and fun.
Yeah.
I guess
And
meats aren't fun, but okay.
I mean, meats are fun, but I don't know how. I'm trying to build an audience here. I want to build an audience of people that don't know what powerlifting is. I just want them to know, hey, this podcast sucks.
Oh,
No, but I
all
don't know.
right.
We've had what the uh Connecticut State Championship, and then we had the Spring Classic. I say we nailed success-wise in terms of introducing red carpets, velvet rope, commentary, camera for the Connecticut State
We fixed it.
Championship got fixed in the Spring Classic. Commentary did not.
We were short a commentator.
But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything that comes to mind that you guys are like reflections from those uh past two meets, and then now coming up with Rising Tides and regionals in the next few weeks?
I still hate red carpets and valet ropes. So
We didn't have a red carpet. We didn't have a red carpet for Spring Classic. We did put out the ropes, the velvet ropes. I thought we kind of had our shit together for Spring Classic. Statistically, I look at the numbers at the end of the meet of like how fast we did everything, and actually it was like the fastest we've ever run a meet. Like I think for squat and bench we were averaging like 44-second turnarounds, and for deadlift we were down to 39. So like we were cranking. But no one's in the crowd being like, this is too slow or too fast. And none of the lifters were like, we had several lifters thank us for a great meet. The camera setup that we had that people were complaining about in the first one, like, unfortunately, we couldn't fix it on the meet day for state championships. It was a super easy fix. So that's fixed, hopefully. Our commentator has left us again. So we didn't have one for Spring Classic, but maybe we can try to figure that out for whatever's next, Ladies of Iron. But no, I was pretty happy. I think the lifters were happy with like the lighting, and the live stream looks better now. I think to me it's still a little bit dark. I think we could lighten it up, but I don't know what I'm doing there. But I think the meet itself, I think we're at a point now where like we're running them really well. And I don't know how much more at this point we want to change or add. I'm pretty happy with it. At the same time, like I don't want to rest and like think we're doing nothing. So we'll still talk to Gino again and see what he's coming up for meets. We've got like I said, the Ladies of Iron Summer Showdown in June, and then my dad's meet in August. So we still have more to do. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with it.
I was looking at the live stream.
Go ahead, Ryan.
What'd you say, Sam? I'm sorry.
I said I was looking at the live stream, and like, comparatively to the past few times that now that we have it fixed, I think we're going to be able to run a amazing live stream.
Yeah, now that we know, like we put a higher end camera on the platform itself, and ran some new cabling. I think that's going to take care of that issue of like the jumpiness. So that should take care of that. The little warm up camera, once we have someone that can work that'll help. So we've got that second range, and then like I said, I'm not that I don't want to do anything else. I want to try a few other things. I want to try like a second camera angle if we can, a backroom camera just for like kind of fun. I want to try different angles for different lifts. Like I hate bench. I think bench the angle sucks. I kind of want to put it like up and above, so be looking down at the person from the front. I think that'd be a cooler angle. It might be a little bit harder to read everything, see the lifts themselves, but we're gonna try that. We got our little lifting cast lights up on the live stream fixed, which like it was such an annoying thing. I was working on it for like a half hour during the meet the other day. Couldn't figure it out. We haven't had it working for several meets. I finally, out of just like fucking pure annoyance, just texted Bryce Lewis while he was working at Collegiate National. So I did not expect a response at all. Bryce responded in 1 minute and said, "Dude, easy fix. Do this, this, this. Jan Dario is going to send you an email right now. Copy and paste that." And we had it fixed in like 45 seconds. I was so mad. But at the same time, at least it's fixed. Now it should be good for the next meet. So that cleans it up a little bit. We did a couple little things, like I changed like the way the lights look on the TVs, made the name bigger, the light smaller, because like you can see them better in certain places. We zoomed in a little bit more. So I think at this point, like I said, like I think we run our meet pretty well, like functionally. We did warm up platforms based on your openers. So like we had assigned platforms for the people. We've done that 3 or 4 meets now. People have really liked that. Because then there's no question about where you warm up. You just kind of go where you are. Now we're lucky that our warm up area has 6 platforms. We generally use 4 of them because of the higher end racks. But if you really need to, you got the 2 extras. So that helps a lot because not every local meet's got 6 warm ups. And then for deadlifts, we've got another 4 platforms too. So we actually have, and we've got 10 bars back there. So for deadlift, you could have 10 people warming up at once, which is fucking insanity. But like, it's not. I think that helps a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy with it so far. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of like tweaking things. See what we can do.
How's it feel that the next 2 major competitions we're concerned about are not your own?
Well, I mean, Ladies of Iron's May 4th. So that one's coming up in a couple weeks. I didn't do timing well on a lot of these meets, so there's a lot and back to back to back. And then I'll be at Rising Tides with Stephanie and Leah down in Jersey. While that's going on, Brian and probably the rest of the team, for the most part, will be up in Maine for regionals. So they'll be handling a couple of my lifters. We'll have probably 12, 13 lifters, I think, going up for that. So that's the same day, which kind of sucks, but like we'll make it work. 3 weeks later, we have the Summer Showdown. The next week is the Open World Cup in Albany. We'll see if we can make it up there to help out at all. I know they're looking for people. And then July, at least, is a little bit slower. We've got Equip Nationals, which I think is like, so I think we have 1 person competing in July. So it's like almost an easy month. And then like I said, August, I'll run my dad's meet. So that's another busy month. But no, I don't know. I think we're kind of in our groove right now with that. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Cool. Brian, any thoughts?
No, I think we're kind of I guess feels like we're in season for meets. We have lots of meets back to back, so it's not we're just kind of used to it. I think all the meets we've done have run well. I think if our biggest comment is camera angles, then I think we're doing pretty good. I think it'd be pretty cool if we put a mini camera on the bar while you're benching. I don't know if that's possible, but
I do want to put a GoPro on the rack.
just got to zoom in super close to the face.
But the problem is I don't know how to I don't want to buy all the wireless stuff to be able to do that. So we might not be able to do that one. But I thought about putting a GoPro like right on the rack.
I don't know how shitty this sounds, but like, let's say you do that. How quickly do you think someone's gonna say, "Oh, I would have had that bench if that camera wasn't there"?
Yeah, I mean, people are like, I mean, no matter what, like, there's always gonna be some complaints. I think we've gotten a lot of them to. A lot of stuff was kind of taken care of beforehand, so there's less complaints. Again, there's always stuff we can do better. Last meet, I probably didn't email people as soon as I should have, but like we did get out multiple emails. We sent out a pretty detailed PDF before every meet now. I'd like to do more with social media for it. I'm pretty shit at that. But again, like at the same time, like we're selling out these meets. The state meet was 72 lifters over 2 days. summer show. Ladies of Iron's already sold out. First time selling that one out, and then we've got the summer showdown and my dad's meet just went up, so like those aren't sold out yet, but they both already have people signed up. So we're doing something right. We haven't even like promoted them yet, really. I just kind of announced it at the local meet with the intention of probably sending out something tomorrow to get more people signed up. So yeah, I didn't think we were going to be talking about meets. I thought you wanted to go a different route. I was wrong apparently, but
I know, I do. I'm just we gotta knock off all the meat stuff right up top because we haven't had a couple podcasts, mostly because technical
I have to
issues,
work.
which is common, right? But now that we knocked off all the meat stuff, unless there's any last things you want to say,
I
building
don't.
up off of freaking social media. So I'm a frequenter of this thing called the TikToks. You know what I'm saying? Right? This and on there, right, they recognize that, oh, I follow GPT on TikTok. You must like a lot of fitness stuff. So sometimes I get like fitness things, right? I'm not going to send you some of the dumb fitness things I found, but what I did find interesting was apparently someone found a picture of Bruce Lee's workout program, right? And
I have
because
it.
of Brian's background, right, I wanted to ask your opinion on sort of what you
It's
think about
wild.
this particular one, and then have you seen or like experienced other, I don't want to say celebrity workout plans,
Mhm.
but like, have you experienced other celebrity workout plans? What have you learned from them? What do they do wrong? What can we do better with them? But I'll send you. I sent a picture in the chat. I'll post this on the video for those who actually want to see it too. But this is the image that they sent out, or at least that's posted on
Yeah, the
social
handwritten
media.
one. Yep.
Yeah.
Tons of exercises, lots of sets, lots. Yeah, I know this. I've got a book from him. Um,
I
First
can
off,
explain
background.
this
I
to me. Yeah.
I grew up playing Street Fighter and all those games, so I'm cool with the background. I want to go to Japan so bad, so I'm cool with that. Um, I don't think I can zoom in on this, right? Probably not.
If you click on
Um,
it, you can probably zoom in on it.
You put them, yeah.
I don't want to screw up. I'm gonna. It's fine.
You're fine.
It's a lot. I mean, like you look at it, like three set, like 3 4 4 4 4 3 3 3 4 4 4 4 4 5 5, like lots of sets. Some stuff's a little weird, like French press, like 4 sets of 6, so like obviously pretty heavy. Um, Incline curl, 4 sets of 6. Um, it's not like if you look at it, it's kind of a weird workout, like 2 wrist curls, a reverse curl. Um, there's a ton of arms on here, so like I'm sure he did other stuff because like at this point in Bruce Lee's career, I think he weighed like 141 pounds or whatever, and he was shredded. So like I don't know, it's hard to argue with what he was doing when like the results are there. Um, it's tough. Like I think you see um, when you see a lot of like these celebrity programs or whatever, like you said. Um, I know Dr. Israel goes through it and kind of breaks down a lot of them now. Um, I don't know. It's weird because like I probably wouldn't agree with a lot of them. Yet at the same time, look at these dudes. Like, how am I going to say that Chris Hemsworth's program for Thor was wrong? He's fucking yoked. He's ripped. I know Hugh Jackman got a lot of shit when they showed that video of him deadlifting a few years ago, but like, even if those were bumpers, that was probably 455 pounds for like a fairly tall actor, not a lifter, in his like late 40s, early 50s at that point. Like, I think there's a lot of masters lifters that'd be pretty happy with that. And at the same time, he was absolutely shredded for that role. So like, I don't know. I mean, like, I think I want to pick him apart as like an educational thing of like, what would I do differently? But again, like, how can I say that when they're
What they're working.
yeah, I mean, like I'm pretty sure anyone that saw Love and Thunder, like female wise, was probably like, man, Natalie Portman looks awesome. Like I want to look like her, or like Chris Hemsworth is like I want to look like the guys want to look like him. Like they both look great in it. Like I don't know. And for me to say they don't look great would be insane. Um, and like I said, I've seen a little bit of Dr. Isabel stuff where he breaks some of them down. I haven't paid attention to a ton of them, but like I know like Henry Cavill's thing with like Superman and Ben Affleck's for Batman, but like I don't know, Ben Affleck for Batman was yoked. He was huge. Henry Cavill looked great as Superman. I mean, he's too short. That's my annoyance. But like, but he came out of the water and was like looked like Superman. So like, I don't know. I get what you're saying. Like, that because you see these workouts and some of them are crazy. Or they just do weird shit that like I'm not sure what they're thinking. But at the same time, like if it's working, who am I to say? Like, I don't know. Bry.
I guess one of the things
I feel like
that
I'm rambling now. Go ahead.
oh, oh no,
No, go,
I mean
go, go, go.
I guess like one of the things that like am I think it's awesome to get a glimpse into essentially what like celebrities and people are doing. But one of the things that I think, because we live in a fitness world, is that we can look at that and be like, admire that it's working. But I know a lot of people who will look at this workout and be like, cool, I'm gonna follow this from now on. It's like maybe you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, yeah. I think like the average, like this is like one of those, like when you see a top notch powerlifters program and like pilots were probably less of a concern. More like I think more of like when I grew up was looking at bodybuilding stuff, like what guys were doing when they were like stage ready, IFBB guys, like and like we'd read the magazines and do that, and like we weren't stage ready IFBB guys. We were 14-year-old children. Like we probably shouldn't have done what they did. Um, but I think it gives you like I remember saying to a couple of the guys I've coached for a long time, like in one hand they were lucky that I got them early, so they had some good coaching. On the other hand, they were unlucky because they didn't get to do some stupid shit and like figure out what doesn't work or what works because I was just guiding them from the time they were like 15, 16. And the amount of like stupid shit I did in the gym with my buddies when we were young is again good and bad. We learned some of the stuff that was bad. We built up some stuff, but we also we got hurt a little bit too. But no, I think a lot of the stuff, like you said, you see, it's like I don't think most of it's bad. It's not like, oh God, don't do that. You're going to get hurt. It's more like, what's the point of this? Like, what are we doing here? Like I said, maybe a little bit for powerlifters. Like I look at some of these, like the actors, and like I'm not sure why they're doing some of the big lifts because, like, I don't know if I had a short time to try to build someone up, I wouldn't really give a shit about what they could squat, bench, or dead. Um, I remember they used to talk about like Brad Pitt for like Fight Club and what's Troy. Like he's not that big in those roles. He's actually pretty small, but he's so lean that it makes him look bigger and more muscular than what he probably was. I mean, like in Fight Club, he's got like a 32 pack. As Achilles, like he looks bigger, but he's not huge. But like it's the if you can be lean enough and try to build like that X shape of like the broader shoulders, the wider hips, it's going to look a little bit better. So like I don't know, like I don't know, it's working.
I don't think that it's I mean it clearly is working and like everyone you mentioned looks good in the movie or else they wouldn't have been in the movie, but I think that they just leave out some information and like I don't know, like burpees, chicken and brown rice didn't get them jacked. It was drugs. Like it's not
Lots and lots of drugs.
I don't think that it's the fact that like Chris Hemsworth is probably genetically very
That's another thing, yeah.
yeah, like he can get
He's a
there.
Hemsworth.
Yeah. Like I've gone down like rabbit holes of watching those like shitty men's health videos of like here's Thor's workout. And there was one with uh the Kamali the Najani, right? Is his name?
Kumail Nanjiani. Yeah.
When he got like jacked for the Eternals.
Oh yeah.
There was workout and there's like, well, I start on the treadmill. And immediately I was like, no, you don't. You don't do that. You don't. It's not what you do. The treadmill isn't 90% of your workout. Clearly there's a disconnect. But I think that's what they rip apart in the in Israel's videos is that they've gone through and be like, they go through each part. And if there's a lot of shit missing that doesn't add up, it's like, why didn't Brian
Yeah,
get jacked? Um,
but I think like that's true for powerlifting too, because like I think if you follow some of these um, popular lifters on Instagram or TikTok, um, all you really see is like the big stuff because that's the stuff that makes people actually give a shit.
yeah,
Um, no one really cares about your isometric ab work and your arms and stuff like that. They care about the big three, like especially hitting big lifts. Um, but I remember like back in the day, like with Elite FTS when they had all their lifter logs. I'm sure they still do. I don't follow them anymore, but like I used to follow those lifter logs very religiously because those guys were actually putting down what they were doing every day.
yeah,
So it wasn't just like, and this is, I mean, I started looking at these before social media was even really worrying about it. But like, even when it was starting to come up a little bit, these guys would like, they wouldn't post the whole workout, but you could go on the log and see, you know, especially I always follow Vinny Senzo, but like, but Vinny like would post every exercise he did and every sets and reps and broke it down. And I remember like I was following him because very early on that was when 531 wasn't really out yet, and Wendler was doing it and Wendler was helping Vinny. And I was tracking Vinny's numbers close enough that I was able to break down what 531 was before it came out in the market because I was seeing it every day. And then I saw like the evolution of going from like, the 531 and then the Joker sets and boring but big and all this stuff. And it was like, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. It's just different styles of programming of that one block. But it was like, you got to see what Vinny was actually doing. And I've said this, I think he's the best overall bench presser of all time. So like, it was cool to see that where like you see guys down at the bench of house and all you ever see them post is like bench. And like, I don't believe they got there on just bench alone. Um, and I know for a fact Vinny didn't. Like I said, Vinny's done 600 at like 4 weight classes raw and 800 equipped in like 6 and 901 and double body weight in like 7 or 8 now. Like it's just, I don't know. That was cool to see all of that and like not have it be um like hidden either on purpose or by not. I don't know. Like I say, again, people don't want to watch you do like lat pull downs, but it's almost like it comes across like people aren't doing that stuff. And like I said, some of the celebrity stuff, yeah, it kind of comes across like they're doing just weird shit. And I'm sure that's not all they're doing.
I mean, I had this talk the other day, maybe it was yesterday, with Trevor at the gym. We were somehow talking about like TikTok, and how like TikTok is instant gratification for everything. And he was talking about like how like I don't know, he doesn't enjoy like television, like watching long movies or getting into a full like show and deep into it. I was like, oh, I love that. Like, I don't want instant gratification. I don't want reality show. I don't want TikTok. I want to be involved in it. And we like related it to powerlifting. And I was gonna say the training logs was like that was a thing that when I first started too was like you read the training logs or you'd see what everyone did, and now it's been shortened down to this TikTok. Here's my single, and a lot of things get lost in translation over time, and I don't know. A lot of shit gets lost because more people are just posting the flashy stuff, and
Yeah.
that's definitely influenced a lot of the way training and lifting has been going lately.
I think adjacently, this was a couple years ago, when I think Ryan, you put it. I mean, it was a throwaway comment, but it definitely like resonated in the sense that I was on my way to try to bench 315, right? And for some reason, I was always stuck at 305. And you're all like, well, you have a 320 bench, but you have a 275 triceps, right? So like, so it became a thing where it's like, oh, like all those accessory stuff that people are doing that you don't see or you don't want to do are essentially what gets you to where you want to go, right? So then that's when I started like, you know what, I'm coming in twice a day and hate myself. But like, like at that time, I think that's one of the things where people are like, I want to, like a 400-pound bench. I'm gonna keep benching until I get 400 pounds. Like, no, you also need 400-pound lats and 400-pound triceps and 400-pound biceps, like to get you there. And I think that's what a lot of these like what we see on social media of like, oh, they're doing these lifts, let me do the same ones. It's like, well, they're doing the lifts they want you to be happy about, not the other lifts that they're like, this is kind of boring, it's not to get engagement.
And like I said too, like you don't even see, like you'll see oftentimes just like the top set. You don't see like how much work did they actually do? You'll see like a top set, a triplet 8, triplet 9, whatever, something like that on bench. But like, how many sets do they do before that? How many backoffs do they do? How many supplemental work do they do? How much assistance work do they do? How many, like what do they do with it? And like if you look at it and be like, oh, well, he hit a triple at 9, I'll hit a triple at 9. Like that's fucking stupid. Like that's such a small part of it, and it's like it's become like almost too big of it. Like that's the like, and I talk about this all the time. Like I don't think you getting your triceps like isolatedly stronger, like with press downs and shit, is going to make you necessarily press more weight on the bench directly. But my argument with that is that I don't think any of this shit's going to make it do directly, other than like if that's the case, like I mean, depending on how much you want to argue with it, a double at 8 is not a direct indication of what you can bench because it's not a 1 rep max. So like everything's indirect. It's just how much on the continuum. How far do we want to go to the left or the right in the continuum? Where like to me, like all the way to one side would be the 1 rep max RP10, and the other side would be a small breakdown of what works in that. So maybe a tricep press down on the bench. I don't think the press down is going to automatically make you bench more, but I think having bigger, stronger triceps is going to help you handle more volume. It's going to be able to you do more on dumbbells. It's going to make your elbows feel better. It's going to do all these different things down the line that now you can do more on bench, and that's going to lead to the heavier single. So to me, it's all like, the parts are more than just the whole. But I think too many people are like, it's the old Russian saying, like, if you want to press more, you must press more. And it's like, yeah, all right, but like, there's other shit too. And actually, like, I don't know who, like, I had a talk with my intern yesterday, today, maybe both. I don't know. Like, we were talking about, like, it's like pretty universally accepted in other sports now. Like, if you play baseball, that you weight train to get better at baseball. But when you go to do weight training for baseball, you're not just doing weighted baseballs and weighted bats. You're doing generalized stuff. Like I look at Eric Cressy because he's like the strength coach of the Yankees. I've known Eric for like 15 years now. They do lots of single leg work and trap bar and tons of pulling and reaching and all this stuff. Like it's not powerlifting based at all, but they're getting strong, they're getting powerful, they're learning how to use it. We talked about it with Simon, whatever the hell he was on. But like it's accepted that like generalized stuff is going to make you a better baseball player. But what's weird about powerlifting is like lifting weights is our sport, but somehow we decided we're not going to do the general stuff of like buys, tries, lats, calves, things like that. It's like we're just going to do the lifts. And like I said, that would be like telling a baseball player the only way you're going to get better at baseball is just swinging a bat, just throwing a ball. Like that's fucking stupid. I don't know why did that happen? How has that changed that we're like, nope, like the only way to get better at benching is benching. Like if I told a pitcher that the only way to get better at pitching is pitching, like that's wild. It is a part of it. Like I'm not going to tell you to not go bench press. If you want to bench press more, you should bench press. But like there's more involved than that. There's so many more things. Like Dave Tate used to always talk about like he could add pounds to people's totals in a seminar and it had nothing to do with their strength. They were already that strong. He said usually it was either a technical thing or a mental thing. He said like you fix a mental block and then all of a sudden they hit a 25-pound PR. He didn't make them 25 pounds stronger. He made them 25 pounds less stupid. And all of a sudden, boom, there it is. Or they were, doing something technically wrong. He fixes that, boom, there it is. They were already that strong. They just couldn't show it for whatever reason. But it's rarely like just do this one simple thing and all of a sudden you're amazing. There's other ways to build it. Why am I so mad right now? Go ahead. One of you talk.
So that I just had this conversation too. Okay, Syed, have you? When is the first time you heard the term SBD day? Or have you ever heard that term?
The last time I heard that, or I mean, the first time I heard that term was like literally when when I was introduced to like in powerlifting, like fully, right? Like
Okay.
before that, it was literally like, hey, we're gonna, Quinnipiac gym back and buys, like
Right. So like I had this, I think it was the same conversation. I think I was talking to Trevor about it was it's okay. I know you're mad too. It's SBD day is like it's become a very normal thing for everyone to do, like every week
Yeah.
in their program, is they get excited for SBD Day. It's a lot of younger lifters, a lot of Instagram well-known lifters. Is SBD Day is it's like a mock meet. You have a mock
Yeah.
meet like every fucking week because it's it's the sport, and they are in this they're under this conception that they have to do this every week, and it like makes like
Every
why are
week? I didn't
people
know that.
it's not everybody, but it's very common. Like
Yeah.
my SPD day, I can't fucking wait. Like it's like they need the weekly satisfaction of hitting a
Lifting
max single or a
heavy
max
or
double
yeah.
and the comp lifts. And I, in my mind, like, why can't you wait a few weeks and just do a fucking meet? Like, I don't know, like, why? I don't know. It just seems like it's too much. And it's again, it's the instant gratification of like, I need that feeling every week, which in my eyes turns into you're going to burn the fuck out really quick and I won't see you ever again. But I, I don't know when that became a thing, when it became popularized. I just think I know where it's coming from. And to me, that's the like pure indicator of like things have changed so much because of, in my eyes, instant gratification, TikTok fucking horse shit. But I don't know.
Wow,
It's
this
tough
got
because like
heated.
well, like it's tough because like I complain about how much older I am than everyone at the gym right now because I am a lot older than most of the people, but also like I don't want to be blind to the business and not follow things that like what's going on. Um, I mean, like I don't write ever like a true SBDA. We never do comp squat, comp bench, comp deadlift. Like I've never done that. Definitely not like at singles. Um, but like I do write as we get closer to a meet. Like I'll have comp squat, some fairly varied bench that's going to bring the numbers way down, and then usually a deadlift supplemental exercise that's going to work on like their particular weakness. So like we're still doing some of that stuff, but we're not doing true squat bench dead. Um, and if like a few people said to me, well, what about like the energy demands of doing a squat bench dead on in training compared to in the meet? And I was like, I don't know, training's harder than a meet. Like you should be okay. Like you don't have to do that exact thing to be able to follow it up in the meet. And I was talking to Thomas Lilly, and he was out of Australia, and he was saying like if you like the way he programs that it's fairly hard like his is more lower upper split, so like like more like what we used to do 2 on 2 off. So there'll be like a squat variation, like the deadlift variation, like it kind of goes from there. But like the amount of volume and work that you're doing on those days, like if you think you can't do a single on bench in between and like you'll be negatively affected, you're out of your fucking mind. You're fine. Like it's 3 singles, and the first 2 of them, if you think about it, are effectively like most coaches are programming them at 7.5, 8 RPE. So like if you look at like RTS where they're programming a single at 8 all the time, and your opener is a single at 7.5 or 8, why can't you just? That's fine. It's not that big a deal. You do it all the time. So then you've only got 6 hard lifts really. And if you only have 6 hard attempts, I know they're mentally more stimulating because of the meet day and everything, but like I think of a day where like I was talking to one of the lifters say like some of our ascending squat days where I actually get texts from people that they're like, I'm scared of this workout because it's going to end with like a PR triple followed by like a heavy single. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And then after that, they're going to do like some quick upper body thing to get can even break. And then they're going to go deadlift. And like, that's way harder than the meet. So like, I don't know. So like, we don't really do true SBD days, but we do like a variation of them. So they're not like, I'm hiding from them, but more and more, I'm like, why do we need to do these? And more, what I've been doing, especially in the off season, is really not doing those. It's been more squat deadlift together, bench by itself, squat deadlift together, bench by itself. And then as we get closer, I might add a little bit more benching in. But like, I don't know. I don't think we need to. SBD is overrated.
Not the
It's
brand. If they want to sponsor this podcast, they can.
I don't think it's as much like like training very like it's not that much different than what we do. I think it's the intent behind it. Can you guys hear my dog screaming?
Yeah, a little
I
bit.
hear dog doing something. Yeah.
He is also very upset.
He's
about
upset about it.
SPD
I'm gonna
that they
disagree.
need to sponsor our podcast. That's it. Who do we know? Do we have a contact for SPD?
I mean, yeah, I feel like I'm not going to throw it out on the podcast. It feels weird, but yes.
I mean, don't throw it out on the podcast. These are secret things. If you want to know more about it, sign up at Gleason Performance Training, achieve your dreams. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God, I don't even know. I don't even know. It's been a weird day, I guess.
All right. Well, next time on the podcast, we can talk about the other half of social media.
Well, all right. I guess I'll go on a little bit of a tangent. Like I did download TikTok for the gym. I don't know if I've even made a post on there. I know a couple of them have been uploaded through Instagram. I'm not even, or if that's even the correct saying. Like I'm sounding old here. But again, I understand what you're saying, Brian. Like, and I don't disagree with you. Like, if I could delete all the social media stuff on my phone, I'd probably be pretty happy. Yet at the same time, it is such a big part of our business now, in our sport that like I don't think it can be. And actually, I think we do a pretty shit job overall. Both for my gym business and for as state chair for Connecticut, I think we repost a lot, but we don't do a lot of our own individual posts. I think we can do a lot better with that, a lot more education stuff and a lot more of just showing what people can do. I think we do a pretty bad job there. And I think that's a big room for growth that we are missing on, probably because we're old. So maybe some of my younger people need to. There's a good so a couple weeks ago, like Stephanie, who never posts shit, like posted this really good video of her squatting, and I was like, I immediately texted her. And I was like, "Who the fuck shot that?" Because I'm like, damn well you didn't do that, and she's like, "No." It was like the best video she'd ever posted, and it wasn't her. One of our other members, Zach, did it, and it was like it came out great. And I was like, "Man, we should do this more often," because it did look really good, and it highlighted her squatting like a pretty damn good amount of weight. I'm like, maybe we should do this more often, but it's like, it's also like, I don't think of it. Not that I don't necessarily want to do it. It's literally not like on my brain. So then like someone will do something pretty big and you're like, oh, maybe we should have videoed that. I don't know if you remember, like when we were still wearing masks during COVID, like Stephanie took the unofficial world record in the gym and as she's like getting ready to like get the bar out, she's like under the bar and all, and Juan's like, "Is anyone gonna fucking video this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, good idea." And I like ran over and grabbed my phone and like recorded like as Stephanie took the unofficial world record and just like hit it pretty easy in the gym. And I was like, "Wow, we weren't gonna record that." And you know what? We never even posted it. It's on my phone. Never posted it. Because like 2 weeks later, she was doing the meet at nationals, and we didn't want people to know what was going on. And then we took that number as her third attempt and she missed. So that was like her first squat miss. So I fucked up. So I'm sorry, Stephanie. But I was like, yeah, like afterwards, Juan was like, I can't believe you weren't going to record that. I'm like, yep. Didn't even think about it. Didn't even cross my mind. And like, that's one that like going to post that on TikTok right now would probably do well, even though it's 4 years old. But like, it was a shit ton of weight.
I just think it was like fucking stupid.
Again, I'm not disagreeing with you, but like,
no, you're right.
Again, I didn't disagree. I didn't necessarily disagree with you on the velvet ropes and the red carpet too, but people loved that. And like, are you doing this for you or are you doing this for them? You feel like I just called you out now, huh? Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I guess like maybe our age is showing. Our difference in age is showing by like how angry we get at minute details of people. But I mean, I think a lot of other members fill the gap in that regard, where it's like we would have never thought, to have Luke and Lexi do like everyone's gonna get a reel or a picture, and then we might have scoffed at that, but then they come out and like, oh yeah, those look really fucking cool, and like I'm gonna use that for when I post, and we should probably do this more often. It's just not the forefront of our minds, but luckily we have members that help us bridge that gap. So, that's a nice thing.
It's funny how quickly this I'm gonna date all of us with this reference. It's funny how quickly this podcast turned into us being those two old Muppets that are just yelling from the balcony.
Yeah. Or what's the
Get off
meme?
my lawn.
What's the meme that we're using is the grandpa and the Simpsons yelling at the sky? Just
Yeah.
everything. That's just us.
That's
Old man
us
yells at
today.
sky.
Yeah.
No, it's
Ugh.
like I don't know. I mean, like, this podcast is so fucking weird right now. We're all over the goddamn place. But like, no, I think there's a lot that you can at least see from these things, and try to use them as like an educational thing of like how can we learn to do better, or what can we change to do better, or what's new out there that maybe we're missing. Because like I think about like how much information I used to ingest on a daily basis for training between like um, different websites that had a lot of information, books, videos, things like that. And now it's primarily like podcasts and social media, um, which are not either of like my forte. So like I don't listen to. There's like only a couple podcasts I listen to, and even when I do, it's pretty rare. Um, and the social media stuff, it's more like looking to see what our lifters did, and a couple coaches that I know. I don't really follow a lot of stuff like that, and like maybe I should follow more because it's you know it not the idea of keeping up with the Joneses, but more of like what are the Joneses doing at least. So like if they're doing something better than us, that we can incorporate it. Um, and like I don't want to sit there like anymore and follow like what a coach does and try to break down every little aspect because like I think my program is better. Like I think what I do is better than people. I think my coaching's better. I don't need to see what someone else is doing to try to change my mind. But at the same time, like, and I said this to my intern, was like, my goal is my goal with his internship was not to be like do this. It was more about think about this, um, question the authority like the people above you, question what's given to you, question what you're doing, and like come up with a damn good reason. And if you have a good reason, then great. But if you don't have a good reason, then like why are you doing it? Maybe you should change. Um, and I don't, you know, being old, maybe I don't do that for myself as much as I would like to think I do. Um, I think I just bitch a lot.
Fuck
Well,
yeah, fight the power.
I mean, I think I've like done the same thing, even though like I just do that in general. I think when people say something, even if I agree with it, I just like to go up, walk up uncomfortably close and just why? Why did you do that? And then I just it's funny where it goes sometimes. It's even if it's they say it and it's smart, I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. But a lot of times it leads people down a path of, I don't know, some positive, or something to think about in their training or something in general. It's just even if I disagree with it, I'd rather go up and even though we're saying everything's stupid now, like I'd rather ask why and then say that's stupid rather than just blanket.
Yeah, but I mean, like we talked about this, I don't know, a couple months ago. Like I have on this podcast said 100 times, I think tempo work is fucking stupid. Um, other if you're outside of pain, why are you doing this? It's stupid. And now I program it for everybody. Brian, you have it in your bench day coming up, I believe. So like, um, but it's also I'm also not doing it how the average coach is doing it right now. I'm doing it on the eccentric and concentric. I think, and I've been like really happy with the results of it. People feel good, nice. Um, so that's something that like I keep telling everyone like stay open to new ideas, but then I'm like, no, this is fucking stupid. Well, then I'm like actively not doing what I'm saying. So I'm trying to be better about that. It's difficult, but I'm trying.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's 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 funny. It's interesting to look back and see what things have changed, and what influenced those changes, even if it's just something like, well, we thought this was stupid, but then someone did something that we still thought was stupid, but now we don't think it's stupid. It's just timing.
Man, this was a good therapy session.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed this.
Brian's background is just hear Mark and I in the morning. That's just
We
3
should
days a
do, like-
week.
Yeah, we could just do like a shirt, a new GPT shirt, like morning crew, and it's just you and Mark, and it's just this.
Yeah, Luke wants me to like to record ourselves because it's just two old men yelling at clouds for
Yeah.
2 to 3 hours a day, 2 to 3 days a week.
Fair.
But it's not like we're doing anything new. It's more like it's Wednesday. I guess we're going to talk about this now, and we do. And like it's but we're also, like I said, we're both also trying to be a little bit better. Like he hated tempo too. He's been using more tempo. He's still wrong by deadlifting first. Like that's stupid. But but I don't know. Like I think the difference is he uses a lot of our yelling at clouds to make content, which is probably smart. It gets more shit out there instead of just us, and I just yell at clouds.
We can timestamp this and see in a few years if you think deadlifting's still stupid when we start. I mean, I probably think it still will be, but I mean,
I like using squats to warm up with, so that's fine.
here we are.
Are we done there? This was a weird one.
No, this is a great
I'm sure
one.
our 6 people listen, but like wow, this was weird.
I think this was a great one. Definitely.
I'm not saying bad. It's just weird. It's a weird term. I guess that's what happened when you have like a month off because I've worked every night.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you just need to talk about something that isn't like, oh, this meet is coming up. Here's the numbers we're doing for everyone. People heard this already. What haven't they heard? Us yell at clouds.
For anyone that listens to this, can you send us questions?
Yeah,
because we have ideas, but like there's only so much we can talk about, and like you end up just talking about shit over and over. So if anyone has a question, even if it's a specific question, I wouldn't mind doing like like 4 or 5 questions in a podcast and just answering a bunch of people's questions. Like,
can we do
we record Thursdays at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Thursdays at 6. I'll leave the number in the description for those to go there. Live chat. Even like, there you go.
But even like, maybe they won't agree with our answers, but it'll give us like, it's more thinking. Like why this or why this? Like why are we doing this or why are we arguing about this? And what can we kind of do about it? So it's not gonna hurt. And if someone's got a question, then I don't know, fire away. Because I think a lot of questions people are like afraid to ask like publicly because they don't want to look stupid. But then like someone else would be asking the same question. So it's like, just ask and like, maybe I can answer it to 3 people at once instead of 1. And maybe it'll be helpful. Maybe it won't be. Who knows? Maybe I'll just yell at clouds.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, we're out.